Hey Frugivore, I'm Freelee. Welcome back to the Frugivore Diet channel. So today's video is a reaction to Bonny Rebecca. Yes, Bonny Rebecca, who I used to be friends with for quite some time. And I want to react to her dinner recipes, her dinner options, you know, what she's basically eating for dinner these days. And some of you told me about this video and you were just like, she's just eating everything now. And I'm like, no way, she is. You know, I should have just expected it, I guess. You know, it's just like this, like, they devolve, you know, they think they're evolving, they think they're progressing, but they're just reverting back to how they used to be, you know. And the definition of insanity, right, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. People like, you know, Bonny Rebecca, Ivana, Elise, they claim they're so happy and they feel so great on how they're eating and stuff. It's like, but that's how you were eating when you were unwell and you came to the lifestyle. So obviously they're not being honest. You know, you have to take it with a grain of salt. You have to be very skeptical about these people who they're actresses, you know, and they want to convince you of, you know, their purity kind of thing, like that. They're good people. So they're going to say anything for the likes and the adoration. But, you know, I'm not like that. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm just going to say it how it is. And I will be doing that in this video. So let's check it out together. If you want to see more of these videos, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, you can give it a thumbs down. Let's just do something if you want to see more of them. All right, Bonny Rebecca, what have you been having for dinner? Okay, Frugivore, here we are on Bonny Rebecca's YouTube channel. She has 340,000 subscribers. This video, a week of dinners, a realistic week of cooking at home and eating out, has had 46,000 views. So unfortunately, the algorithm is still suggesting her videos to her audience. And I say unfortunately because apparently she is still promoting animal bits and pieces, the consumption of them, to her audience. Because I haven't seen this video, but a lot of you have messaged me and said, you know, she's basically just eating everything again. And it just blows my mind. You know, I think Bonny is the biggest disappointment out of any of these girls who went back, any of these women who went back, because it really appeared that Bonny got it. You know, she fully grasped what the animals go through, and she made videos about it.
When I really made the connection and realized, oh, this is what's on my plate, I'm supporting this with my dollar every time I go in there and buy it, I couldn't do it anymore. I really couldn't do it.
And I think that video is still up. You should check it out, where she talks about what happens in factory farms and like what you're supporting when you eat animal bits and pieces. But now that's what she's doing exactly herself now. She's reverted back to supporting the very industry that she fought against, basically, and she tried to influence her audience not to support. And I think it's very reasonable to conclude that she brought a lot of young women away from a plant-based diet, away from veganism, with her videos and with her going back. And it breaks my heart. It really, really does. Bonny is highly manipulative, and she is one of those individuals who seem to, you know, quite successfully convince her audience that she needed to go back to eating animal bits and pieces, that she just couldn't, you know, continue going on plant-based. It was just too bad for her health, which is just ridiculous. Like, of course, we know that is ridiculous, but she was so scared of being, you know, cancelled basically by her audience that she manipulated them into believing it. So as you know, I was friends with Bonny in the past, and I was friends with, you know, her close friends as well. And there's a lot to unpack with Bonny Rebecca. Okay, there's a lot of talk about her eating habits, her under eating, and a lot of things that I'm not going to get into today. Okay, I'm not going to get into. I'm just going to focus on this week of dinners, but let's just say things are not as they appear with Bonny Rebecca. That is for sure. All right, let's get into the video, shall we? A week of dinner is a realistic week of cooking. All right.
Tonight's dinner is a soba noodle salad with some salmon. I just cooked the salmon in a frying pan.
Okay, so she fried up this big fish from the ocean. So she stole the fish from the ocean who wanted to stay in their home, and now she's eating a piece of them. And that first up is just creepy for me. It's just creepy as a frugivore to be eating essentially like seal food. You know, this is not frugivore food. But anyway, the environmental pollutants that are in that piece of flesh are extensive, okay? Because this salmon are a big fish. So they're essentially the top of the food chain in the ocean. You know, they're up near the top, so they eat smaller fish, and then they take on the environmental pollutants of those smaller fish, and then they concentrate in the flesh of the salmon, and then we eat the salmon. And it's like this effortless transfer of these pollutants into our system, into our brain. So it's dangerous food. It's toxic. It should never go in the human frugivore. Soba noodles. Let's see what else you said.
And the soba noodle salad, here is the ingredients for...
All right, soba noodle, soy sauce, rice vinegar, sesame oil, juice of an orange, fresh ginger grated, honey. Like, why? Why would you put honey when you don't have to? You can just use like agave. You can use another sweetener. You can even use dates. Like there's maple syrup. You know, plenty of other sweeteners that you can use that don't actually have to exploit animals. You know, because the bees are getting their honey stolen from them and then replaced with white sugar. You know, and they're important pollinators. And she's just like, I don't care. She just doesn't care anymore, it appears. So soba noodles, look on the packet. These can be full of sodium, absolutely full, packed with it. So it's not a good choice. If you're going to go for carbohydrates, sure, I'm glad that these are plant-based, but it doesn't really matter because she's having animals anyway and honey and everything. But go for just plain rice noodles. You're not going to have this big sodium here. Look at the sodium content, or better still, whole foods, potatoes, you know.
Super simple, super easy. And yeah, one of our favorite go-tos at the moment because it is tasty.
What? Oh, and there's Emily. Okay, so because it's tasty. See, that's what it comes down to. Because it's tasty, but why is it tasty? Have a look at the actual packet. Have a look at what you're putting in your body. You know, she's putting a lot of seasoning. She's putting, you know, she's frying up the salmon. So it's not, you know, it's not bear food anymore. You know, it's being turned into something else. You know, she's trying to make it palatable for the human frugivore. All right, but it's just come down to tasty. It's come down to tasty. It doesn't matter about the fact that you're eating an animal. It doesn't matter. And Emily. So don't do the diet and lifestyle incorrectly like Bonny Rebecca did. If you undereat, then the brain is going to send you to another calorie source, which one that you are familiar with, you know, from your past. And that's what's happened here. And there's a whole lot more to that as well, which I'm not going to get into in this video. Let's just say there's a lot more to it. Also, if you undereat, you're going to get health issues. You will get health issues. That is not the lifestyle's fault, okay? That is not the creator of the lifestyle's fault. That is your fault. If you undereat, you're not doing Raw till 4. You're not doing the frugivore diet. That's not what I recommend. I don't recommend undereating, okay? So you're not actually following the lifestyle. So go for it yourself. This is the lifestyle, living foods like the frugivore diet is outlined in this book, how I lost 40 pounds on this lifestyle. Emily looks rough.
Yummy?
So yummy.
Perfect.
Wow. So this is a big shock for me too, because Emily was really committed to veganism. It appeared, right? But obviously she wasn't. She didn't care about the animals. And I believe she was doing some nutrition course. She was starting to be a nutritionist, and she was writing all over the internet, all about like plant-based, how it's amazing. And she actually stayed plant-based beyond like Bonny reverting back. So Bonny reverted back, and then I think it took her maybe like 10 months or something like that, and then she went back. So you can see how influence of others around you can have a massive impact. And are they drinking wine, champagne or wine or something? I'm not sure. Kind of looks like it, doesn't it? It's disappointing to see Emily there because I thought she was more educated. Like she convinced me, but obviously she wasn't.
Meal before yoga, right?
Perfect meal before yoga, especially with the salmon.
Yes.
What? Perfect meal before yoga, especially with the salmon. She must be kidding, right? Oh, wow. Like, I'm sorry, but because I knew these two, it's just it's just shocking for me, and I don't watch the channel at all. So to see this, I'm just like blown away. All right, let's move on. So all this like, you know, snazzy editing and this music and everything is disturbing. It is really disturbing because she's trying to like just distract you from the reality. You know, just and you see this in so many of these videos by these young women. They just play the happy, happy, joy, joy music, and no one thinks about the animals, right? It just looks like some sort of food, and we don't care about the origin. Or I do, obviously.
Mine when it's in progress.
She definitely does not look anywhere near as healthy as she was. I'm happy to see makeup-free face on both Bonny and Emily, but I'm just, because I haven't seen her for a while, I am shocked, okay? Wouldn't be that shocked because obviously they're reverting back.
Okay.
And
I am crummy.
what?
Some chicken.
Oh yeah, Emily's special chicken schnitzel.
I can't really sit here and tell you exactly what these animals go through because I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to put that into words. The suffering and the pain and the life of suffering that they have in order to become our food, and we don't see it, so we don't really know.
Wow. Okay, so they're eating dead bird now. They're eating dead birds, and it's just shocking. I would be very careful of the salmonella factor here because I've had a relative who has had issues for a long time because they ate slightly undercooked chicken, dead bird. All right, like that's just another sign not meant to go in the human frugivore system. All right, fruit is not going to do that to you. So anyway, these young women have gone back, they've reverted back and will now have the same health issues as they had before they came to the lifestyle, which is a large part of the reason they actually came to the lifestyle. So, you know the definition of insanity, right?
Special chicken schnitzel. It's actually not special at all.
It's your mum's.
It's my mum's, that's true. But I feel like it's a pretty basic recipe.
Okay, so
it's just that it's good.
We have some chicken.
So let's, I don't want to see them all like cooing over the dead bird. So, wow.
So that's
but
really
I think that I might do something special tonight.
Oh, like what?
Like put a little bit of butter in the oil.
Oh.
That's meant to be something good, like special. You know, so I'm still not going to give up on these two. I don't give up on people, but I am going to tell it like it is. Wow. I'm just shocked.
Shallow fry the schnitzel.
What?
Until nice and golden brown.
Holy moly. Okay. All right. So is Bonny Rebecca really trying to convince herself that eating this fried dead bird is actually healthier than eating a fruit meal, a meal of fruit or a meal of high carbohydrate cooked plant foods like potatoes? Is she sweet potatoes? That's all. Does she really think so with the saturated animal fat? She's just going to be like, oh, I mean, this is so much fat. It's unbelievable.
That is perfection.
Wow. And she's even getting it like caramelized there, which is making it even more carcinogenic for the human frugivore system.
That looks unhealthy.
Like it's crazy that she blamed like plant-based, saying, oh, I had these issues and everything and I had to go off it. But she deleted so many videos of her feeling fantastic, her loving the lifestyle. And actually, I think there is a channel up which has a lot of her videos reposted, which you should maybe try and find if you want to check out the truth. But she took them all down because she didn't want the truth to be out there, that she actually loved the lifestyle and it was healthy for her, but she underate and she did other questionable things. She said she felt fantastic on plant-based, and now she's probably going to say she felt fantastic on, eating this way as well. But you can see which one's the truth. You're not going to feel fantastic eating that way, eating this way. Okay, so doing a sauce here. All right, yep, that does not look too bad, the sauce.
All the ingredients in a blender and then blend it up.
Right.
And then I serve it up with some pasta and some more roasted capsicums that I just get from the deli section at Woolworths. Then me
Yeah, Woolworths. So what is that?
and also had a chicken sausage to go with it.
What? She's having chicken sausage as well. Okay, so I haven't really seen much fresh going on here, have we? Not a lot of fresh and chicken sausage. And if you have a look at the ingredients of these chicken sausage, they often contain a lot of carbohydrates because they have to be sweeter. Because we don't want to eat flesh as human frugivores. We want to have things that are sweet and higher in carbohydrates. So they have to pack it into the sausage. So it's not even like real, animal flesh situation here, even though it does contain the dead bird. It's got a lot of this filler. So that's incredibly greasy, fried. Wow, Bonnie, Emily, what are you doing? Don't even try to say that this is healthier than eating fruit, plant-based diet.
And that was pretty much our dinner. And then I did eat some chocolate after that. I'm going through a bit of a...
Of course you did. Of course you ate some chocolate. Because you know why? Because you used to kind of know why. But now it seems that she's forgotten everything she learned and now she's back to square one, even maybe below square one. So creamy milk too? Oh, wow. So she's a frugivore. She's not getting enough sweet fruit. She's not getting enough carbohydrates in general. And she's going for the chocolate.
fruit and nut phase at the moment.
A fruit nut. So she's having fake fruit. As in okay, it's got some fruit in there, but she's having fake fruit with fruit in it. And she's a frugivore trying to get her sweet fix.
Nut is like an old person chocolate, but it's really good. It's really good. Bread, buttered or something like that to have.
I know she's got some sort of irritation under her nose there. Just something I noticed there. So these are things that can come up, definitely, if your immune system is challenged by what you are eating. So sure, if it's good editing or filming or all of that stuff, it definitely influences the audience to be like, oh, it looks delicious and this is cool, and just forget about the whole origin of the food. But I will continue to remind these women, continue to remind the audience that there are animals involved, okay? And pumpkin soup, hopefully there's no secretion in there, but you never know right now, hey? And it looks like buttered toast if she said it was buttered. So Mama Cow has to suffer.
And just chuck it in the oven and bake it for an hour. And I've really been loving this style of meal lately because it's really easy.
It's really easy. So there's obviously dead bird in there again. This is just very standard. This is what most people eat who pop off the planet of heart disease. This is what they're eating. Yes. They're eating animal bits and pieces with a bit of veggie here and there. Okay, and she's just doing the same thing. And she will be experiencing health issues, but she won't tell you. Of course she's not going to tell you because it makes her look like she made the wrong decision. And now she's going to struggle. Okay, what is this?
Had me and Emily.
Wow, just a super deep fried something.
We shared some bao buns and some duck pancakes and some
duck pancakes and wow, going right in there. Yeah, like I said many times throughout this video, she's reverted back.
Delicious. We had some cocktails and celebrated our friend Kara's birthday.
So I wonder whether they have gone back into this circle because she had this more fruit-based, this a high carb kind of circle at one point, and maybe she has gone back into that circle. And yeah, I mean, this is what can happen. You just end up eating the same as them, end up getting the same health issues, end up getting heart disease. The statistics show that is the likely outcome.
We had some cake when we got home.
Some cake.
And then on Sunday night, we ended up going out for dinner again. And I didn't take a video, but I have some photos. And I had this amazing crab pasta.
Wow. Amazing crab pasta. She's eating everything. She is eating everything.
Kind of just celebrated Kara once again. I had a lot of cocktails, probably not more than normal, but...
Wow. So she's having alcohol as well. Let me just tell you, I haven't had alcohol since I was 25 and I'm 41 this year. Okay. It's of no benefit to your health. All right. It is something that people go for when they are fruit deficient as well. Okay. Because you won't find any fruit-based eaters who drink alcohol. You just won't find them. If they're eating enough calories, then it's not a thing. So she's dropped her standards incredibly. So she's having alcohol now. We've seen the dead bird multiple times, duck. We've had the bovine secretions of butter. There's the sea life, the crabs. It's blowing my mind. Bonny Rebecca, what are you doing? And then she has her dog at the end. So a little bit ironic, right? Because the dog is no different to other animals that she has on her plate. They all deserve to live. They all are deserving of life. And she is saying no. Her and Emily are saying, no, I'm going to take your life for my meal, for my 10-minute meal, for my little celebration. And you can say goodbye forever to your family. Goodbye forever.
When I really made the connection and realized, oh shit, this is what's on my plate, I'm supporting this with my dollar every time I go in there and buy it, I couldn't do it anymore. I really couldn't do it. So I know it's hard. I know it's so confronting. I couldn't do it anymore. I really couldn't do it.
And that is heartbreaking for me because these animals exist on the planet for their own purpose, not to be our meal, not to be our snack, not to be our supplement, not to be our handbag, or any of these things. And people like Emily and Bonny just obviously were acting. They were acting like they were compassionate. They didn't really care. They were just following probably my example of caring for animals and just kind of playing that role, not really getting it, even making videos. Yeah, anyway, what can I say? That's my video for today. It's just shocking. It really is. And you just have to remember that, these women came to the lifestyle for a reason. Bonny said she had health issues, extensive health issues. She had ED as well. So she brought that to the lifestyle, and Emily as well. So they brought these conditions to the lifestyle. They were in a bad way and they actually improved their health, which they confirmed themselves. They improved their health extensively, but then they got sucked back into the mainstream. They got sucked back in. Under eating had a lot to do with it with Bonny, and Emily was probably very influenced by her, and then that's how the story goes. So don't lower your standards, okay? It's not fun. It's not desirable to have mediocre mainstream standards, to fall back into the mainstream. Be a fringe dweller, be strong, stand up for the animal, stand up for what is right. Right is right, even if no one's doing it, and wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. Be on the right side of history. All right. Don't forget to go fruit yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.